Hello everyone and welcome back. In our previous session, we introduced ethics, what it means, how it differs from morality, and why it is so important for life and research. Today, we move ethics part 2, where we will study major ethical theories. These theories give us frameworks to decide what is right and what is wrong, and they are especially useful in guiding research and publication ethics. You may ask, why do we need ethical theories? Isn't common sense enough to know right from wrong? Here is the answer. Sometimes. Moral situations are complex. Common sense may not be enough. Ethical theories give us systematic principles to guide decision making in difficult cases. Let us start with the theory utilitarianism. Proposed by philosophers Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. The basic principle is the right action is the one that produces the greatest happiness for the greatest number. For example, if testing a new drug on 100 volunteers could save millions of lives, utilitarians might justify it as ethical provided volunteers give informed consent. In research publication, utilitarianism would say, share your findings widely because knowledge benefits society as a whole. What are the strengths of utilitarianism? Focuses on outcomes and social good. The limitation of this sometimes may ignore individual rights if the majority benefits. Next theory, deontological ethics, that is duty-based ethics. It is developed by Immanuel Kant. Its principle says, right actions are those that follow universal duties and moral rules regardless of consequences. Kant's famous idea, act only according to that rule which you would want to be universal law. For example, lying is always wrong even if lying could produce good results. In research, plagiarism or falsifying data is always wrong no matter how beneficial the outcome might seem. The strength of this theory is protects individual rights, promotes honesty and fairness. The limitation is it can be rigid. Sometimes consequences do matter in real life. Third important ethical theory is virtue ethics, originally developed by Aristotle. The principle is ethics is not just about actions but about the character of the person. A good person with virtues like honesty, courage, fairness and humility will naturally make good decisions. For example, a virtuous researcher does not plagiarize not only because it is against the rules but because honesty is the part of their character. Virtue ethics emphasizes building a responsible academic culture. The strength of this theory is focuses on moral character, not just rules or outcomes. The limitation sometimes lacks clear guidance for specific actions. Fourth important theory is rights-based ethics. This ethics principally goes like this. Every human being has fundamental rights that must be respected. Rights may include the right to life, freedom, privacy, education and safety. For example, in medical research, participants have the right to informed consent and the right to withdraw. In publication, authors have the right to recognition for their work. Right-based ethics is very relevant in today's world where human rights shape laws and research policies. Fifth important theory is ethical relativism. We should mention ethical relativism as an important one. Why? What is right or wrong depends on culture, society or context is this principle. For example, eating beef may be acceptable in some cultures but considered unethical in others. In research, this reminds us to respect cultural norms when conducting studies in different societies. The strength of this theory is encourages cultural sensitivity. Limitations may lead to moral confusion if everything is relative. How do we apply these theories into research scenario? Let us take example. Suppose a researcher discovers an error in published work. Utilitarianism says correct it quickly because truth benefits society. Deontology says correct it because honesty is a duty. Virtue ethics says correct it because integrity is a part of good character. Rights-based ethics says correct it because readers and other researchers have a right to accurate knowledge. Relativism says how the correction is handled may vary depending on institutional or cultural practices. This shows how theories provide different perspectives but all point toward responsible research conduct. As researchers, we often face ethical dilemmas. Should I rush to publish or wait for more accurate data? Should I include a colleague's name as a co-author if they contributed very little? Should I share a raw data publicly or keep it private? Ethical theories gives us tools to think systematically about these questions. Let's summarize today's lecture. We studied 5 major ethical theories: utilitarianism, deontology, virtue ethics, rights-based ethics, and relativism. Each theory provides a unique way of deciding right and wrong. In research, these theories guide decisions about honesty, fairness, responsibility, and respect for human dignity. In our next module, we will move from general philosophy to research-specific topics, beginning with Introduction to Research Ethics, Integrity, and Publication Standards. Thank you for being part of this session on ethics, part 2, where we analyzed the ethical theories. Here is a reflection question for you. If you were faced with a tough ethical decision research, which theory would you rely on the most and why? Share your thoughts in the comments, because ethics grows stronger through discussion. I will see you in the next module. Till then, bye.